Mississippi FFA, how y'all doing today? Y'all doing good? It's good to be here. It's good to be here from 2015 to 2016. I'm going to try not to get emotional. I spent a year of my life right there at that post, and it taught me a lot. 6 years later, I can tell y'all it feels good to be back, and it looks good in here. It looks really good in here, so give yourselves a round of applause. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I thought that after I left that post and after I did my retiring address that anything, I know, so look, wait, who is that guy right there, right? Does anybody remember that guy right there? Okay, a few? Okay, it's good, it's good. No, I got a little, what my dad and uncle say, dirt on my face now. You know, I'll go back to that clean shave one day so y'all can recognize me if you didn't recognize me before now. Listen, when I got done with that post right there, I thought the connection that I had to doors, any perspective I've had to the meeting room and paraphernalia was done, but 6 years later, I came back to tell you that that was not the case. No matter where I went, I kept encountering doors, and each door led to a room. Took some time, but eventually I began to realize that every door, it was a deeper meaning to that door, right? Pastor Mike Todd Jr. helped me break that down. I'm going to use 3 doors. For example, the first door is a manual door. You put your hand on the knob or the bar. You know, it's different ones. We high class down here in Mississippi now. And you either push or you either pull. And it's going to require effort. That's that first door. And I know for me, since I left this organization and got out to the real world and went to college, I got aggravated, agitated, and frustrated because it seemed like every door I tried to open for myself, it was taking all the effort for me. So if anybody can relate, I've been there. It was taking all the effort for us. So the second door is even crazier if you think the work with the manual door was something. The second door was a revolving door. And about this revolving door, although it did not require a lot of effort, it did require timing. That being said, there's no better time to rise up. I can't wait to share this original content and these tools to dominate in whatever you do. Now, I said it was 3 doors, right? The first one was manual. You either push, you either pull. Second one was about timing, a revolving door. Now this third door is an automatic door. And all you got to do with those is you got to show up. So you all showed up. So give yourself another round of applause. I'm gonna just call out some names and make some noise if you've ever heard of these names. Ja Morant. Ja Morant, anybody know? Okay, Ja Morant, we got some basketball. Steph Curry, everybody should just do that one right there. Everybody knows Steph Curry. I don't even know I'm not even gonna do it. What's Giannis Antetokounmpo, number 34 from the book? Okay, he has a fan in here. I cannot see where. Steve Harvey, Family Feud. Anybody, Family Feud? Okay. I am not hosting that today, so I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna host that today. I know I got the suit on. Y'all, those names I just mentioned are household names. And just like that revolving door, I'm gonna do it one more time. I was going in circles to figure out how individuals, like we all just screened for, those household names, how did they become household names, right? What did they do and what can individuals like me and you and all of us in here from Mississippi do to dominate in anything that we choose to do, any profession, any school, any class, any major? I got 8 tips to share with you all because it was no single format of one thing. We're going to take care of a little housekeeping before I go into it. I'm going to tell y'all that take one step at a time because inches turn into feet. Now, I can remember the first time I was telling my parents right here about the FFA. I can remember the first courses of A&R and Mr. Clifton, who's here today. I can remember the first time I seen the Mississippi FFA Center in Raymond, Mississippi. I love that place. I miss that place so much. I can remember everything. I can remember my first state convention where I ran for state office. Let me tell you, that was a humbling experience because state convention is a time to where we're around the top competitors, top chapters in the state in each region. That humbled me really fast. I can tell you that any dream that you ever have and ever will come across, it's not going to happen at the pace you wanted it to. I'm blessed to say that my first state convention, I became a state officer. When you come to these state conventions, I know you'll be with your chapters, but I want to challenge everybody to Meet somebody from a different region, because that is my favorite part about state office, going to the different regions and getting the same love. I appreciate the love that I heard coming onto the stage, and it was a key pillar to my development. Now, the feelings I told you you will have once you get around the top people in the state, I want you to acknowledge them, but at the same time, neutralize them. What do I mean by that? It's this thing called imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome, it'll tell you you're not good enough. It'll tell you everything that you accomplished was by luck. It would tell you that everything were accomplished because, somebody knew my ag teacher. Somebody knew my parents. It's Mississippi. It's not a big deal. Imposter syndrome will wipe you out and really bring you low. So whatever you feel when you get around the top people in whatever room, make sure you neutralize the enemy. And sometimes that could be the enemy. See, sometimes it's the people to us that's closest, like family, friends, church members, community members, that we have to necessarily, what we say nowadays, cut off. But then sometimes it's ourselves, our own doubts, our own insecurities, and not stepping out on faith. We got to bury those thoughts. We already 2 tips into the 8 tips. A dream typically happens when you fall asleep. My tip is dream big and dream wide awake. What does it even mean? Dreaming wide awake doesn't even sound normal, which means it's going to take an unusual amount of effort. See, everybody has went to sleep at some point. I hope you do. I know FFA Convention week is going to be jam-packed. When you go to sleep tonight, tomorrow night, you're going to have a dream. But what if I told you not everybody was a dreamer? See, the difference between a person who has a dream and a dreamer is a dreamer, they're not afraid to wake up and tell you, once they have it, what they saw and what they believe that they can do. I had a dream of becoming a state officer when I met my first state officer. Her name was Sadie. She was from the KASU chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Then I began to meet other state officers like Tyler, Daniel, Haley. It's just a couple of names that come to my mind. Shelby. I could go on and on and on about the state officers that I met, and I was like, you know what? I'm that type of person that if they can do it, I can do it. I knew that I could be a state officer with the right resources. But I had to own it. Owning it looks a little different than the dreaming part, because anybody could dream, but once you take ownership of it, it's when you grab it by the horns and you say, I don't care if it's my mom, my chapter president, chapter advisor, this is what I believe I can do, and I'm going to do that no matter what. Our next one, mistakes or mistakes. I'm going to share, I have not been back since I retired. Me and a few other of my teammates, we re-ran for state office after serving a great year. Neutralizing the enemy, and also I'm trying to hold my emotions together. Neutralizing the enemy and letting that imposter syndrome get to me. I was not reelected. A lot of my teammates, it can only be one president, right? I stayed away 6 years because in my mind, I thought I wasn't good enough to be seen by the people that I love, by the people that I served. And it's very, very full circle to be here right now. I had no idea that I'll be back in this capacity, but just like that revolving door, right? Going in circles. It was just the right time. Thank you, Ms. Wagner, for extending the opportunity to be here. Thank you all for having me. Y'all, this automatic door, I appreciate y'all for showing up. We 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to start with appreciate the past. I could go on and on and on about the stories that I've had with Mississippi FFA. Today's news is tomorrow's history. I can remember after that first week we were elected in the state office, going into the Mississippi FFA Center, and we had to come up with this thing that we would live by for the next year. And I'm going to share that at the end, but we're going to hold on to that, right? We're going to hold on to that. Some of y'all know where I'm going with this. Appreciating the past. The only way I found my way into the National FFA organization is because I was a varsity basketball player went to state every year, Ashland High School, dislocated my leg. The first practice of the summer. Back on the court in 6 weeks because I don't know if I was trying to be Derrick. I don't know who I was trying to be, Derrick Rose at the time. He was one of my favorite players. As soon as I got back out there, fractured my right leg. So I was like, you know what? What is my path? One more injury, I may not even be able to walk too good. So that's why I met Mr. Clifton. So I met my FFA advisor, who was also my 4th grade and 5th grade math teacher. And this is why I want to go back to trusting the process. The next step, trusting the process. May 16th, y'all all saw that Amazon commercial that I just did, right? I used to work for Amazon. May 16th, I stepped out on faith. See, when we graduate high school, college, we're going to have a career. Some of us may go straight to that career, right? But what we do in that career is going to make us a living, but what if what we do for a living is not a reflection of who we are? Then we're in a really, really rough spot. I don't want anybody to be just like I was. I'm going to share something that I want y'all to know. I refuse to see in you what I saw in me. I chased money. Money allowed me to have my RV, my tractor, build that farm that you all saw. But it's gotten to a point in my career already, and I'm going to hold it together. But I know I love to speak. I know that post that I had right there, my favorite part was always being one of the first people of Mississippi FFA that you would come across. Because I know how I felt when I first came. No ag background, brand new chapter. I knew the role that I needed to play. And I found myself in every room after every door needing to be that person. And I don't know what you do outside of here, what's been on your mind outside of here. I want you to step out on faith. I'm not telling you to do up and leave a job like I did, but I'm telling you I can't be a hypocrite in this last thing that I got to share with you all. This E, what does the E stand for? Actually, can we go back to the slide before this? Can we go back to the slide before this? Dreaming big and dreaming wide awake. Owning it. Mistakes or mistakes. Inches turn into feet. Neutralizing the enemy. Appreciating the past. Trusting the process. That's 7 tips of 8. What is this E? We ready? We ready for the E? Ms. Gail, Kayla, the 2016 State Officer team, probably know where I'm headed with this. This quote was born June 2015, and it's the quote I chose to live by, and I want to give to you. I'm not going to stand up here 45 minutes and prolong this session. I want you to know this. Everyone tries to be the sun and shine light where it already exists. Who would be the moon and glow in times of darkness? You see, it starts when we were younger. A lot of people ask us, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? The rest of this conference, I want you all to focus on who you want to be. This conference and convention has provided an atmosphere that we can rise up and dominate no matter what it is. We from Mississippi, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll keep it 100, as we say. I'm only 24, I ain't that old, y'all. 100. Mississippi is not one of those places to where you meet somebody and you'll say, I'm from Mississippi. They're not going to cheer you on. You're going to have to prove yourself in state, out of state. No matter where y'all go, don't get caught up in the money. Don't get caught up in who's doing the best thing on campus. I want y'all to tap in. However dark you feel, whatever darkness that you see around you, be that light. Not saying that everywhere I went as a state officer was dark, but it was many, many places and chapters I went to who they just needed to see somebody their age. They just needed to see somebody who looked like them, who had energy. They needed a connection. Anybody that you have a connection with, you never know. You could be the only Bible that somebody picks up and read. You never know where a person's mental health is. And I don't want to lose any brothers and sisters in here. I don't want to lose anybody. I got a question. If you've had any moment in your life where somebody has shined a light or been a light to you, you've been a light to somebody, I want you to take out your flashlight. I want to take out your flashlight. This is beautiful. Dark as this room is, and I told you I was going to hold it together as long as I could, I need to see the light that you have. You may be wondering why this is tearing me up. I can see people. That's why I was standing at the back when y'all was coming in. I see. You don't have to say anything. I see people who I don't have a clue what you're going through, but you walked in here with a smile. You walked in here with great energy. Keep that same energy. You got the tools to dominate and everything you need to do. 7 tips. The biggest one being the moon. Mississippi FFA, I'm glad to be back. I will be outside, and I have a free bracelet, glow in the dark, be the moon bracelet, and dominate bracelet for everybody in here who lets their light shine. Thank y'all for this, and never forget, everyone tries to be the sun and shine light where it already exists. Who will be the moon and glow in times of darkness?
Thank you, Juwan.
Juwan, many of us probably still remember when you were a state officer. Trust me, I do. But you've had a humongous impact on so many people that you have reached through your platforms, through places you spoke, and I know you've reached so many here today. So we want to give you a token of our appreciation for what you have done and what you will do in your future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Man.